Hello, Santa Barbara and Montecito. My name is Daniel Zia. I'm the founder, CEO, and lead broker associate for the Zia Group and eXp Realty here on the Central Coast of California. As part of our commitment to be your local real estate economist of choice, I'm going to deliver your real estate market update specifically for the luxury real estate market, focusing on Hope Ranch and Montecito. We had a tremendous year in luxury real estate, arguably the best luxury real estate year in the history of Santa Barbara real estate, specifically in the areas of Montecito and Hope Ranch. Record-breaking number of sales in both of those areas, and we saw significant price appreciations and numerous individual pricing records broken when you looked at individual large luxury estates that were sold. So I'm here on our website. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the sales statistics. We had a total of 448 sales between Montecito and Hope Ranch, which is about a 4% increase in the total number of sales. Montecito had, not even a percentage point difference in the number of sales, but it did have slightly more. There were 374 sales last year in 2020. And Hope Ranch, though, we saw a significant bump in the number of sales with 65 sales coming in Hope Ranch, which is a really large number when you factor there's only about 800 homes in a state in the Hope Ranch community. That's a 44% increase over last year. When you combine the two, the median luxury sales price between those two areas was $4,450,000. When you look at specifically in Montecito, the average sales price for the year came in at almost $6.3 million. And when you looked at Hope Ranch, just a little bit less than that on the average sales price at as a touch over $5.8 million. You can see here what sales prices have done in Montecito and Hope Ranch. The darker red line is Montecito. The lighter red line is Hope Ranch. And we saw a little bit more fluctuation in Hope Ranch in particular here. And just to remind you of the historical context, this is when the debris flow happened after the Thomas fire in Montecito. And we had such an incredible spike up in I would call it temporary demand in Hope Ranch. And then as time passed, people did start migrating back to Montecito, and that leveled out there with pricing and equalized more. And then it's been hovering pretty true to form the last couple of years with fairly equal demand between the two. I would say in the last couple of years with COVID, with more buyers coming in from out of town, we had a lot of celebrities buy in Montecito in the last 2 years, and and Montecito has just a little bit more of that cachet and publicity, almost celebrity status, and I think that's really kept real estate values strong and helped them recover really firmly even after that big natural disaster a few years ago. Here's the number of sales, the number of sales between those two communities when you're looking at the last handful of years, and you can see here really seeing even most importantly here in Montecito, just a massive spike up in the number of sales, specifically looking at the last 2 years compared to just a couple years before. Not quite twice as many sales, but pretty darn close. You can see here, these are actually sales prices by trends. This is a good example why we don't place a lot of weight on an individual month's data. These two areas are so small when combined, it's too small of a sample size. So if you are tracking any realtor's website or any realtor's social media post, just be aware when they're showing you month over month over data, like a May versus a June, it's gonna really skew possible interpretation. So if they are looking at monthly data, it's always better to look at it year over year. May 2021 versus a May 2020. You can see here between the two luxury areas, quite a few more sales in Montecito and Hope Ranch, and that's just you've got about 12,000 residents in Montecito combined to again only 800 parcels, and that number of residents there in Hope Ranch. And this is also month-by-month data. This is where you're looking at specifically, you're looking at the number of sales between the 2 months. So overall right now, again, very strong luxury real estate market in 2021. definitely a banner year. What's on a lot of people's minds is what's going to happen in 2022. There are some key factors. The main factor is the lack of inventory. When thinking about what prices might do, there is, I would say, overall slightly less buyer demand today than there was, say, 6 months ago. Part of that is with the great pandemic migration, people moving locations for different lifestyles now with the pandemic. A lot of that migration has already taken place. It's by no means over, but a big first wave of that has already passed, and that sales activity happened. That's one of the reasons why all of the inventory was burned through, and now we have the lowest historic inventory levels we've had. That's also called the absorption rate. The absorption rate is how many weeks or months of inventory do you have, meaning if not a single new home, estate, or condo came on the market, at the current rates that those properties are selling, how long would it be until all of those properties were sold and there wasn't a single additional property on the market? And I'll pull up a chart here. We've actually looked back the last 25 years for the absorption rate in Montecito, and you can see back when the market was at its most challenging and prices were dropping most significantly, there were 20 months of inventory for Montecito in 2009. Last year, there was less than 2 months of inventory as an overall average. Compared to 2020, it was 7 months. In 2019, it was 13 months. So you can see with that great migration, the vast majority of that inventory was burned through, and we are by far the lowest months of inventory we have ever seen. We've never seen anything like that. So as far as what prices might do in Montecito, unless if we see a significant decrease in buyer demand, we're going to see a continued strong real estate market in the next number of months of 2022. We'll see if it stays that way the whole year. We've got much larger economic factors to consider with what's going on with the stock market, people's portfolio, inflation. There's some other big topics, but when we look at the core fundamentals of the micro real estate market in our area, we do expect those to continue to see strong until that absorption rate, the amount of inventory, continues to go up. So if you're looking to cash out on your real estate portfolio or one of your properties here in the Santa Barbara, Montecito area, it is a premier time, and with fairly high confidence, you could probably sell your property for the highest historical price it could have ever achieved in any market, though we are seeing, again, just a slight decrease in the amount of buyer demand, and we also don't know how that's going to translate on a case-by-case basis to specific properties, given that that demand is decreasing a little bit. It's just still very high in relation to that inventory level or absorption rate. So if you'd like to schedule a private, in-depth, a confidential consultation with a Zia Group team member, please do reach out to our team or your preferred Zia Group Realtor partner. We would love to help, and we have some more statistics and data, as well as some more nuanced predictions, and we can custom tailor them to your specific investment and real estate goals, and we'd love to help. So until then, have a great beginning of your 2022, and we look forward to working with you for any of your real estate needs.